Lawmakers, of course, have been weighing in. Reaction from leaders on Capitol Hill has been rather split. Some say the president made the right decision. Others say Congress should have been involved. Fox's Chad Pergram now with that part of the story for us.
The debate is if Congress should even have a role. The president is commander-in-chief, but the Constitution gives Congress the power to declare war. It's a political kaleidoscope. Democrats who usually oppose President Trump endorse bombing Iran.
I've been saying, oh, hell yes, for I think it's almost 6 weeks.
This window is open now. We can't take our boot off their neck.
But preemptive strikes could devolve into a broader conflict.
The idea that one strike is going to be adequate, that it's going to be one and done, I think is a misconception. Bipartisan House members just returned from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain.
They are worried that this will escalate, and it wouldn't take a whole lot for it to spiral out of control.
Those nations don't want Iran to go nuclear, but also hope for diplomacy.
The ask was for de-escalation, to be able to see Iran come back to the table.
The Reagan Institute summer survey found that 84% of those polled don't want Iran to get nuclear weapons. 66% root for a negotiated truce. A Fox poll found that 73% of people see Iran as a threat. Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie and California Democrat Ro Khanna wanted Congress to bar the U.S. from attacking Iran.
If the Democratic Party is not a party opposing the war in Iran, then I don't know what we stand for. This party needs to be clearly against another war in the Middle East.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says, quote, President Trump can only fire on Iran if Congress gives him, quote, explicit approval. But not all Democrats agree.
The president does what the president wants to do. That's what's always happened with military interventions.
Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine will compel a Senate vote this week on if the U.S. should have intervened. In Washington, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
For further context and perspective on all of this, the debate over whether Congress is needed to take certain actions like striking Iran, it's been going on for decades, long before President Trump was ever on the political scene. Limits on presidential power to use military force are outlined not just in the Constitution, but also within the War Powers Resolution of 1973. We spoke to David Cole, an attorney specializing in constitutional law, about this. Listen.
The president is where the buck stops on foreign policy. And so throughout our nation's history, presidents have deployed the American military without a whole lot of advance warning when they've seen an urgent need to do so. Now, the Constitution also says expressly that the power to declare war is a congressional power. And the last time we had a formal declaration of war in this country was December 8th, 1941. While Congress may or may not be wanting to fund an extended deployment in the Middle East, there's no way this is going to lead to impeachment. And so, as a practical matter, the president has latitude here, both because of history and because there's just no way to stop it in our constitutional structure. The court's not going to do it, and Congress has only got a couple of levers to pull.
So we were also curious what the move means for other nations in the Middle East. We talked to a political science expert at SMU. Listen to this.
Well, they've provided rhetorical support to Iran. They've condemned the United States action. They've called for restraint. That's to be expected. It would not behoove them to actually get involved in this conflict in any sort of direct way. Now, if Iran tries to reconstitute its military after the damage that it has sustained, potentially you could see Russia in particular be an arms supplier. But don't forget that Russia is involved in a major conflict of their own right now.
Wilson also discussed oil experts with Fox 4 and what that means for you and me. He says that the Strait of Hormuz potentially being closed would actually hurt China more than us. Out in an abundance of caution, Governor Greg Abbott posting on X, Texas is elevating the readiness of our Texas Department of Public Safety troopers and Texas National Guard, increasing patrols around high-risk locations and ensuring our state is fully prepared to address any threat, adding at this time there is no need to worry.